Hey, it's George Philbeck, and of course, my beautiful wife, Jacquie, who is not here because this is not her favorite thing to do. She's more of our negotiator. We're going to cover some things today that you need to know. This is the Florida market update for April, and this is not a market update that looks back 30 days past. This is current information that we curate ourselves. We look at this on a daily basis. So these are real-time numbers right now. This is the real stuff that's happening in your market. If you're interested in selling a home or even buying a home, we'd love to help you in that. But right now, our goal is to give you the information you're going to need to make informed decisions and to know what's happening in the Central Florida market. We have used a cross section of 4 counties. We've got Orange County, Seminole County, Lake County, and Osceola County, the Central Florida Big Four, single family homes, townhomes, and condominiums. And we check this information on a weekly basis. We do this for our clients as well, but we actually use a micro market around their community, their home, and we analyze that as well. In fact, at the end of this video, I'll put together how we can create a report for you. If you want one, it's free of charge, doesn't cost anything, no obligation. Glad to do it, but let's talk about what's happening in Central Florida. We've got the inflation reports coming out. I have not looked at that yet. I wanted to get this out to you. Jacquie and I were away on vacation for a little bit of time. We're in Italy and Europe for the week. And so we're a few days behind this. We usually put this out every time at the first of the month because we literally curate this information as it occurs right away. Let's go to our first graph. The first graph we're going to look at is the number of homes sold. And when you're looking at this graph and every other graph, this graph goes back to January of 2021 all the way through. And the reason we went further than just 24 months is we wanted to show 3-year trends. So we look at January of 2021, February and March of 2021, and you see 15,000, 17,000, and 24,000 homes sold. Jump forward to January, February, March of 2022. Now it's 20,000, 21,000, and 27,000. That's terrific. More homes are selling. The market is robust. It's definitely a seller's market. January, February, and March of 2023, we get a different picture. We have 945 homes sold the month of January. That is the lowest we've seen in many, many years. For February, it was 1,300, which compared to 2,100 the year before and 1,700 is still down both years. And then finally on March, we have 1,689 homes sold. And that's compared to 2,700 homes and 2,487 homes. So we've seen our sales drop pretty dramatically. Now you've heard all of this and that's great. What's going to be the big one is the indicator. The one that I'm concerned about that we want to talk about the most is going to be the affordability chart, which brings all this together. By the way, if you like this, we put these out the first of every month. As I said, we curate them. We actually pull our numbers together. We don't wait 30 or 45 days as everybody else does for their reports because it's hand fed to them. We actually want it right now. It's important to know what's happening today, right now. Here's an example. If you go back to that chart, we'll go back to it real quick, and you're looking at December of 2022, you'll notice the drop off of 1,300 homes to 945 homes. That's dramatic. You need to know that as soon as that happens. You can't wait 30 days for National Association of Realtors to put a report together or for somebody to say, here's everything you need to know about what happened 30 to 45 days ago. That doesn't help. So we're going to focus on what's happening in real time right now. The next chart we're going to look at is the average sale price. When I look at this, I see a very healthy trend from January all the way through. You see it go up and then it starts to plateau a little bit somewhere around the May and June level of 2022. Well, we all know that. The market was phenomenal. It was absolutely crazy. The prices kept going up and then the prices started to flatten a little bit. And they even declined some, as you'll notice, from really May through February of 2023. Here's the thing though, what jumps out to me and probably you as well is March of 2024 or 2023. Holy smoke. We've got $448,000, an increase of over $18,000 in 1 month. That's an anomaly. That is unusual. You don't see those kind of trends on a regular basis, except for we can go back to February and March. You see that huge jump up just like we had. So we're going to see that, but we want to watch what happens afterward. And remember, everything was always increasing. We're now seeing a decreasing market. Affordability is going to come into play as well. So let's jump to the next one. This is days on market. And days on market represent the number of days it takes for a property that actually closes to go under contract. Now, this is real important. If you are selling a home and your home doesn't go under contract, you may be on the market for 115 days. I hope you're not. You shouldn't be. If you're on the market for 115 days, you're not going to show up in this graph. You're not going to show up in the chart we're going to look at. And here's why. Because you're not closed. It has to close, and then they go back and they say, how many days was this property on the market before it received an offer that was executable? So when we look at the days on market chart, What we're looking for is we're looking for trends. And it's very easy to see this one. As you know, in 2022, the market was crazy. We had at one point in June of 2022, an 18-week supply of homes. So think about this. In June of 2022, we sold 2,500 homes. Now, that means if no other homes came on the market, it would take 18 days for us to be completely out of inventory. Luckily, quite a few homes came on the market. Everybody was interested in selling at that point as best they possibly could. The interest rates, which we're going to cover next, were really low. So everybody wanted to buy. Well, things have changed a little bit. We're now up to a 48-day days on market, and that dropped down from 53 just last month. Well, good, it should. We're in the best part of the market. This is the prime season all the way up through the first 2 weeks of August for selling a property. But we have to take a look at, as I said, affordability, and we're going to look at interest rates right now. If you're selling your home, that does not mean that your home isn't going to sell quickly. It just means that the competition is going to be a little bit greater, and you're going to have to be a little better in your strategizing, and you're going to have better marketing. And please, for the love of God, better negotiating, because that's really the most important thing a realtor is going to do for you. Let's take a look at the interest rates, because this is pretty telling. As everybody knows by this graph, interest rates have continued to rise. And in fact, our highest interest rate was end of February of 2023. You'll notice that at 6.99%, almost 7%. That's as high as it's been in many, many years. Okay, couple that with increased prices, it affects our affordability. We'll cover that in just a second. Now, we did see the interest rates come down by the end of March to 6.84%. In fact, they've dropped a little bit more than that, which is great news. But all of this couples with affordability. Now, before we switch over to affordability, we want to consider the cost of the home and the interest rates we have to pay. And if we're looking back at, let's say, June of 2022, our interest rates were around 3%, and our cost of the home was pretty darn high. At that point, it was $450,000. So we're thinking, oh my gosh, that's still pretty affordable. We're only paying 3% interest rate, and the home is $455,000. But when we're on our interest rates now at 6.8 and 6.9%, that $445,000 home, the affordability changes. So let's look at the affordability chart right now. You'll notice back in June of 2025, we just spoke of that, with the homes as high as we could get, they were up to 40% affordability. This is important. Let's talk about what that means. So 40% of your income can be used for your housing needs. That's home or house, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, what it costs for you to have your home. And when they're mortgaging a property for you or creating a mortgage for you, they want to look at your debt to income ratio and how much percentage of your income can be used for housing. Now, of course, that includes your student loans. How much debt do you actually have, your car payments, things like that. So as the percentage increases, when you see this rise on this particular chart, the concern we have is that it's no longer affordable. Now, it's important to note that what we did is we used $100,000 as the housing income for the property, and then we adjusted accordingly. So this takes into account the price of the property as well as the current mortgage rate. And you're going to notice very clearly in February of March, we jumped up well past the 40 mark, and 40 is kind of the benchmark. Over 40, your credit better be perfect. Over 45, it better be the best in the world. Over 50, doesn't really matter. It's too high for banks to loan on. Now, remember, we had a couple banks, 3 actually fail. Everything is scrutinized at this point. Because our interest rates are high, because our prices went back up in March, great news on the surface, it actually means less people can afford homes at this point. The affordability is out of whack. That is a genuine concern. So every single month we put this together. We gather this information so that you have real time. And if you're interested in your particular community working really this information around your home, around your neighborhood, I want to share with you a report that we create for our family and friends. And I've created a little video that'll explain it to you. I'm going to add that to the back end of this. If you want, there's a link down below. That link will just fill in your information. If you want to give us more information, we can do some adjusting for you. But we're glad to do it because knowledge is your powerful tool. You need to have that at your fingertips. My name is George Philbeck. This is my beautiful and very talented negotiating wife, Jacquie. You'll figure it out if you have a chance to meet with us, and we'd love to do so, that she's actually the smart one and I'm the pretty one. But I'm a numbers geek, so this is what I focus on. Wanted to thank you very much for your time. Let's show you what that report looks like. And if you want to get on our calendar, give us a phone call or an email. All of our information is right down below as well. Have an amazing day. And remember, it's always a good time to buy. It's always a good time to sell. Negotiating is going to be the one thing you need the most of. And that's going to make sure that you have the most knowledge at your fingertips. And that's our job, to give you the tools you need. And then we can help guide the ship with you. But you're in charge. It's your house. Thanks so much. Talk to you in a bit. Watch this report. It's important. Here's a quick clip on that report. So the reports that we create for our friends and our family include, obviously, the information about the home as well as the current estimated value, as you're seeing on these 2 pages. Now, we also go a lot deeper into home facts and the extended home facts as well. And this allows us to really refine our value. And you'll actually see that the last page we're going to talk about is the refined home value, which includes some adjustments that would be made as well. Now, this is a 81-page report that will be sent to you that is very specific to your home, your community, and everything else. It is important that you have all the facts when making such an important decision.